I just wanted to touch base with you, tell you a couple things that I have coming for you, and then talk to you about some things that I've been noticing inside of our team. So the first thing I wanted to talk to you about is your role with Jamberry. So many of you are Jam Babies, some of you are already sponsors, a lot of you take this as a full-time thing, some of you take it as a part-time thing. So I will check in with you often because I want to be a resource for you. I don't want you to feel like if you need to take time off that you have to ignore me or that you have to, not respond to my messages or only respond when you have something jam related to say. I'm here for you for Jamberry, but I'm also here for you in life. And if you need to take time off, I totally understand that. I am a full-time student, I work full-time, and I have hobbies. I understand being busy, I definitely do. The other thing I want to talk to you about is kind of exciting. So I have decided that I'm going to create a Dropbox for all of my recruits and then of course all of those underneath my recruits. So that's all of you that I'm talking to now. So as you've noticed, when you join, I or your sponsor sent you a bunch of emails with a bunch of different links, a bunch of different documents that you need. I created my own script. I included all the images, how to find them, blah, blah, blah. Well, that can be kind of confusing for some Jam Babies because they have all of this information in all of these different places. So I'm going to create a Dropbox for you. It's going to be small. It's not going to replace the one that we use for Jamstars. You'll still use the Jamtastic Cloud. It's just going to have some good information for you to refer to. I am consistently making changes to my script. I'm consistently making changes to the way that I use parties. So I want you to have access to that in an up-to-the-minute fashion. The other thing, too, is that many of you are looking into using Postcron or are using Postcron, and if that's something you're looking into, I want to be able to create a tutorial for you so you don't feel like you have to go find it somewhere. I want it to be easy for you. And then I want you to have access to my CSV files because I create those almost on a weekly basis. So if I can take the work out of it for you, I'd like to do that. The other thing, too, is I've started creating my own images, and so has Caitlin on the team. And I want you to have access to those too, because that's not something you'll find in the Dropbox. You won't find that unless you're a part of my parties, and I don't want you to have to stalk my parties to be a part of that. The other thing that I want to include there is I have heard a little bit that some of the information, like I said, to the Jam Babies is getting lost in the shuffle. And the analogy I would use is the telephone game. The first person telling the second person, usually you get all the information, but by the time you get, 5 people down, you're missing some of the information because it came from, all of these different interpretations. So I want you to be able to, as a sponsor, say, here is a checklist of what I need to give my Jam Baby so that they have everything. And then we all know that feeling of joining as a Jam Baby and being so excited to start but not knowing where to start. So I'm going to include a checklist for you there as well as to what to do to start before you have parties, how to get parties, what you should be doing when you need to have questions answered, etc. And then the other thing I wanted to talk to you about that's really important is recruiting. So I know that you've heard this before, but I'm stressing it because it is truly, truly important. So I started with one Jam Baby just like you. I don't recruit like crazy. I don't actively recruit. I don't seek people out to try to convince them to sign. The biggest tool that I use and that I stress that you use is the sneak peek. Because as a person who signed, I sneak peeked and I did not decide I wanted to join until I actually took my sneak peek. The great thing is that all of the ladies in our Jamstars group are incredibly supportive. So that right there makes people want to be a part of something like that. And they also see what kind of help they have, that they're not on their own, that they're not going to be lost. So if you have a person that is even remotely interested, even a tiny, tiny bit, add them to a sneak peek. Please do it. Use those, overuse those. You cannot overuse them because they are the most important thing in this business. The other thing that I wanted to talk to you about for recruiting is how important, excuse me, my nose itches here, how important it is for recruits and the way that your business is built. If you feel like a $500 bonus every month is out of reach for you, I'm here to tell you that it is not. Like I said, I started with one Jam Baby, which was Sierra, and quickly we have grown to several tiers of a team, and that's really exciting, and that's showing in my pay. I'm making as much money from Jamboree as I was working 20 hours a week in college. And that is huge. That's huge for me, and that can be huge for anybody. And that is directly related to the number of people that I have under me and how successful you guys are. You are an amazing team, and I could not be more proud of you. But I have to stress that if you want to get to the place that I'm at, you have to recruit. So I don't do anything special. Like I said, I don't seek people out. But I do make sure if someone expresses an interest that I am right on top of that. I answer all the questions. I give them information without trying to overwhelm them. And I, of course, offer them a sneak peek. A sneak peek is something I offer in every party. And if you're not offering it, you're missing out on opportunities. Add it to your party. It's in my script. It's super easy. It's one post. If people ignore it, people ignore it. But I usually, in a month, I have at least 3 people respond to it. Some people want to wait. Some people want to jump right in for the sneak peek. But that is how I got 75% of the Jam Babies that I have now. So that is pretty much all I have for you. Look out for that Dropbox. I'll be sending it a group message just like this one. Also look out for some additional people joining our team. I know several of you have sneak peekers, and I actually have a sneak peeker now that's planning to join when her party ends. So look out for those people and look out for the growth. Great job, ladies. I'm so proud of you. Have a great rest of your Sunday.